Tonight, you're hanging out with Ian and Abby. We're playing through some nostalgic video games together as a couple. Today we have our dogs with us, so if you hear clippity-cloppeting, that's just them. We're working our way through FireRed. We have decided to stay in FireRed for another episode because, Ian?
Because we really want to be fully prepared when we get to LeafGreen. Mm-hmm. And we've really sort of mapped out the kind of Pokemon we want to use, using Abby's strat of hit everything in the face.
Yeah.
So to be strong enough to hit everything in the face and do well, we are going to really prep. And as you can, if you've been sticking around with us for like the last, I think 6 or 7 episodes, we've been sort of fine-tuning our anticipated team based on a mix of what's good and what Abby thinks is cute.
Yeah.
and also powerful. Abby likes a mix of powerful and cute, which is, I think,
helpful. Where's the... Oh, there.
So...
Now, do we have to... I think you said the answer was no, but I always think, like, do we have to refresh that one's PP? Because we want to use our strongest one as the lead, although the amulet coin is with... Articuno? Or not Articuno, Aerodactyl.
Yeah, but we don't want to use the amulet coin because it takes up a slot.
Right. Okay.
We're going to hop on our bike. So yeah, essentially, Pokefans, this episode, we've been saying it for a while. We've been saying each episode's going to be the last.
It's the final episode.
So PP does come back just by putting it in your box.
That is so useful.
Confirmed.
Man. I am still thinking about back in the Ghostly Tower, that floor mural that just healed you when you walked over it. Why can Pokemon never be that straightforward? I get that they're showing us they have a mechanic. We have a hospital. We have this cool machine. It's the most expensive machine in the hospital. It'll heal your Pokemon in 30 seconds. Why can't it be quicker than that? You have to heal your Pokemon so often if you're a responsible Pokemon parent. And it would just be so much easier if they would just let us walk over something. Even if it was only in one place in the whole game, I would rather fast travel to one location for the rest of time. I guess that sort of is the case with the Ghost Tower. Mm. But it's not convenient. If there was a Nurse Joy that gave you the option of fast healing, I mean, I would go to her over every other Nurse Joy just for the convenience. The saving of like 30 seconds at a time. At the end of your Pokemon journey, it could be like an hour saved.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they didn't want us to have too high of expectations for the healthcare system.
Yeah, it's too much like reality. Yikes.
So what we were doing is looking for one more TM10 to actually transfer by having a Pokemon hold it, having it transfer to LeafGreen.
For Vulpix.
For our Vulpix, because Vulpix, when we looked it up,
is adorable.
Is adorable, but essentially can only really learn moves, like fire-type moves.
Ian disapproves of this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of one-dimensional Pokemon, and again, the hit-it-in-the-face strategy is good, but if a fire-type Pokemon is fighting and then a ground-type comes up, then the hitting it in the face thing is not so good. Now, Abby's philosophy is just let it die and move on.
Or swap it out. That's why you have 6 good Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for that, too. But in terms of efficiency, we're going to spend a bit of time here and save all that time, hopefully, when some, like, random water type pops out of our Vulpix and then it, like, thunderbolts it in the face. But what do you think about that, Abby? Do you think it's fun to kind of... Oh, Nugget. That's a good deal.
Nugget. That helps to pay for all the things Ian has bought for a lot of money and then sold for half as much money to pay for things that we have no time to find real money for.
It'd be pretty funny if there was like a loan shark run by Team Rocket.
Oh,
in this
no.
game.
And you had interest accruing every day, like one of those cash for money places.
And that was like another quest line, is they would continuously send tougher and tougher enforcers to like come collect it.
If you beat them all, is your loan forgiven? Because that would be kind of fun. Because then you just take $1 million or as much as they give you in the game.
Yeah, I guess if you beat them all, you don't have to repay your interest, but they wouldn't loan to you anymore.
Well, who cares? They're evil bad guys. I don't know. I'm kind of invested in this now. I do like weird just taking a concept that we all love and changing it just a little bit is all we need to get really excited, you know? We don't ask for much as Poke fans. We just ask for whatever Niantic is doing to stop it and to just be better. Stop making it more 3D. By the way, we never talked about this. What is the nonsense of you having to physically move as your Pokemon during battle?
Oh, I'd be luck.
A rare candy. Nice.
We've never found one of those before.
So I like D&D rules, as in I like turn-based games. I like that I have a move and I have a chance to look at my moves and to think about what I want to do and to go in my inventory and to make a decision. And then I like that my opponent gets to move and I don't move again until their turn is over. That is my favorite style of play. It takes a lot of the microing out of the game, and I don't like microing. I'm not good at it. I prefer games that you think and you just sort of have fun over games where you have to be very dexterous. I have very tiny hands. I can barely hold the controller. Like, I don't want to do that. And I didn't play... We played... Or Z to A. I keep saying XY. We played Z to A together with Ian at the helm, as we are now, and me sitting next to him. And it was the first time in the history of Pokemon we didn't both buy a copy of the game. Specifically because I knew that I would not have fun playing a game where combat was not turn-based. Where it was like constant and you also had to move and weave and dodge and just... I didn't like that. So what do you think? What was your opinion of that style? Are you someone who likes microing in games and you thought that was refreshing? Or are you like me and you're like, it's fine if you have that, but let me turn it off in the settings. Give me the option to also play the game. Because if this is just now how Pokemon battles are, it kind of phases me out of being able to play Pokemon and enjoy myself. Yeah?
Yeah, I prefer the classic method. I mean, I see what they were trying to do. This is how I would have improved it. So for those of you who have played ZA, essentially you may recall that your Pokemon had the classic 4 moves, great, but the speed at which the moves recharged varied quite a bit. So it, in theory, could mean that one Pokemon could use Brick Break and it would attack first and you could attack more often than if a Pokemon was using Hurricane, for example. And also, to optimize your gameplay, there was a way to move your character so that your Pokemon you were fighting with moved and could avoid certain attacks. So there was an element of actually dodging using your player. It would be like if our friend Dracoon over here just like sprinted and ran to a bush and we were able to avoid like a quick attack. So to me, that it sort of breaks the what's it called, Abby, in literature and fiction and things?
The fourth wall?
Not the fourth wall, but there's a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, the willing suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, so microing my Meowth too hard. Can't even remember my... So, interesting note. We have this was our 17th payday we've used. Last time we got a TM10 after like 4.
I'm having fun. I don't know about you.
Abby loves the Meowth gamble.
I just think it's so fun because the rate of getting items is extremely high, and it's also kind of like another rare candy. So even if we're not getting exactly what we want right away, we're still getting a bunch of really useful stuff that we kind of should want anyway in the game. Plus, it's exciting, and Meowths are so great. We don't really get to play with them anywhere else in the game, so being able to take some time to spotlight Meowth is pretty great.
True. Although, there's no guarantee of getting TM10. I think if we go a full-length episode and we just haven't had any luck, we'll probably just move on, and maybe we can always come back later and peek. But we do... Well, I'm a strong advocate of optimizing the Pokemon we're going to use, and I feel that our Vulpix will be optimized if we can get a... Alright, so we're going to swap.
Nice.
You, because we're out of
There's an item.
paydays. Yes, there is an item. A gentle nature. Oh, that's nice.
Sweet.
Payday. I'm a big fan of kind of... Oops, sorry, I forgot to... Nope, don't switch. Item. A Pechaberry.
But you were saying about ZA, the game style, so you appreciate more dynamic gameplay more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was grateful for, because if you hated it as much as me, we just wouldn't have played. ZA at all. But I think you had more thoughts on it.
Well, it's getting into the nitty-gritty, but if anyone's played, they probably found, like I did, that physical attacks hit your opponent so much faster than special attacks that it to me, made special attacks superfluous and a bad strategy. Because if it took you 3 seconds for you to land a hit with your special attack, like your Thunderbolt or your Thunder or your Ice Beam or whatever, and your opponent's already taken off half your health because they rushed in and used a physical attack, then it meant that Pokemon were not chosen based on their strength, but more on who could learn the fastest move. So, for example, I found that I used Lucario for a bit, and like the move Brick Break, it hit within under a second. It was so strong. And there was another, I think it was a Bullet Punch on a Metagross, and I think Lucario could learn Bullet Punch too. It's a Steel type, and it just hit so fast that it became more about what moves could hit first. Long story short, I didn't like that combat style. I think there is a way, and here's how I would propose to do it. If Abby, should I say what I would advise Niantic to think about?
Yeah, I mean, I liked, to give them some credit, I liked the idea of instead of PP, that it's a timed moveset. Like, you can use the move once every so many seconds, because in theory, your really low-level moves, which essentially never run out anyway in the game, would never run out. So that was comforting, that you could just be, as long as you had health, you could be in the wild all day. But I did like that for a move like Hydro Punch, I think is a 5 PP move. Maybe?
Hydro Pump? Yeah.
Yeah, Hydro Pump. I said Hydro Punch.
Hydro Punch.
Hydro Punch!
That sounds like a good move, actually.
I'd want to use that, but Hydro Pump, it meant that, you know, if you were fighting the Elite Four, you could keep using that move. And I do like that. I like the option of a time-based as opposed to turn-based. But yeah, I want you to share your thoughts and how you would improve on the battle system, because I don't think they're at it yet.
No, and by the way, if other people have played ZA and they had a different experience, I will be honest, I didn't really delve too deeply into the mechanics. That was just sort of when I played through at a surface level, eventually beating the game, and I think I got the Pokemon up to level 100, I think.
Do you know what's really sad? I think the DLC came out, and we pre-ordered it, but we have not even tried to play it. Maybe we will. Maybe that's something we have to do.
Maybe we will. But what I mean to say is, I might have some things wrong, but that was just as a casual player of ZA, it really seemed to me that the combat system was unintuitive and counterproductive in terms of creating a team. But Abby and I sometimes talk about a MMORPG for Pokemon.
Yeet.
And what could be fun there is if instead of the trainer running around behind the Pokemon, sort of dodging with it like they're in some sort of dance troupe.
Like the Matrix.
Well, it like became like synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
It's like, if I go here, then you go there. And we do this. And your trainer could also get hit, if I'm remembering.
It was so weird. Yeah, you could be in peril. That's not supposed to be an option in Pokemon.
Oh, that's right. You could, the Pokemon could hit you, and you could black out.
Yeah, even if your Pokemon was at full health, you could still black out as the trainer. How weird is that? You're on your first Pokemon of 6. It's like, oh, you failed because you didn't dodge. Okay.
Yeah, that was very strange.
It was so weird.
So, if there was an MMORPG with Pokemon, it'd be interesting if there was a enemy within a certain range, then you, the character trainer, might throw out, let's say, a Meowth.
Meowth.
And then as soon as that happens, perhaps the screen takes you into the eyes of the first person of the Pokemon.
Yeah, like to be as your Pokemon.
So Abby, do you remember when you played ESO, you were kind of looking through the eyes of your character, and if you clicked whatever button for a certain move, the character would use it, right?
I did like that. It wasn't as confusing, because it can be hard to navigate someone in the world when you can't see what they see.
So it keeps the elements of, you know, you can just stand there and deliver if you want. You could probably dodge if you want a little bit. But the idea would be that the player's camera would become the first-person view of the Pokemon, and then they would have moves, just like in most MMORPGs when you have a move set that you're using. Like, we didn't play World of Warcraft much, but I believe that if you're I don't know the classes, if you're a wizard, you might have Fireball, I guess. So that's a button. Anyway, so then that's how you would have your moves. And I don't think they should be limited to 4 moves. Hey, Abby, what do you think? If in an MMORPG, would you want to see 4 moves per Pokemon, or?
So I'm a believer in, again, the D&D style. And if you're unfamiliar with Dungeons and Dragons rules, congratulations on having interesting things to do with your time beyond being a super nerd like us. But there is a clan of us, and we are strong and mighty, and we have fun, right, Ian?
I mean, it sounds like it's just you and me at this point, but...
There are others, I know it, I sense it. But I like that you can keep learning moves, but you have a certain sort of mana pool, or like an energy pool for your moves. So you choose. So let's say you have 10 mana energy. A really big move might cost 8 mana. A really little move might cost 1. So you have the right to, and maybe a medium move is like 3 or 4. So maybe you have the right to use just low-level moves and do 10 attacks. You have the right to do a couple medium and a couple little. Or maybe you're just doing 1 huge attack, and that is your whole turn. I like the idea that you can keep accumulating moves as you go, but then if the burden is on you to understand your moves and say, look, you only have, like, let's say we put it in terms of Pokemon and it's PP. Let's say you have 15 PP per battle. And that's it. Unless you have some kind of, like, ether or something. So if you had 15 PP, you have every move you've ever had access to. That's great, but you can only use 15 PP. And maybe some moves are worth, like, 2 or 3 PP. Maybe. To make it interesting. And you have to decide. You have to strategize. And I think that's more fun because when you limit people with moves, in the newer games especially, you can always switch out the moves anyway outside of battle. So it would just sort of be making that smoother. Because essentially now in the newer games, you already have that functionality. You just have to actively choose which of the 4 you're taking into battle. I like the idea of just having them in battle. Don't waste the extra time moving them around. You know, don't make people regret accidentally learning a new move. Just sort of make people strategize. Because by the end of the game, when you're really high level, you'll probably have like 20, 30 different moves. And maybe you have access to them, but you can only pick 4 of them per battle. Maybe you have them all, but it's whatever you use, you end up stuck in. You know? That could be cool.
That could be a lot of fun. And I think the strength of this MMORPG we've sort of been theory crafting is that, again, the villains you're encountering are other, like, let's say the Team Rocket, whatever, right? So they're throwing out, maybe there's 1 or 2 of them, they're throwing out 1 or 2 Pokemon, and you would be in a party. And so in live time, you might say, oh, they're putting out an Arbok and a Rhydon. I'm going to throw out my Blastoise. And then teammate would say, oh, I'm going to put up my Kadabra. And then together, you would have to coordinate sort of through teamwork who's going to do what. So I think that would be a lot of fun, because right now in MMORPGs, when teams go into an engagement, it's sort of the same thing every time. The tank goes in front, tanks the damage dealers sit back, deal the damage, the healers heal. But in this system, if you're running around with only 3 or 4 Pokemon or 6 Pokemon, suddenly each character kind of takes a different role depending on what is thrown at them. And remember, with a roster of 1,000 Pokemon,
it would be really interesting. It's sort of like Dota. So I don't know the game Dota as well as Ian. Ian has taught me a bit about it. I've seen it played on the internet, though. But I happen to know there's a lot of different characters you could choose to play as. And it's interesting because every time teams go up against each other playing Dota or Defense of the Ancients, they often choose different, I'll call them Pokemon, but different monsters, different creatures. What's the official term?
Different heroes.
Heroes, thank you. And the interesting thing is, each team has a chance to stop the other team from picking certain. They can sort of say, for this battle, you can't use these 3 or these 4 or these 5 heroes. So it's kind of interesting because in every single game, I don't think I've ever seen 2 games where the same heroes were chosen. It's always different. It's very dynamic, and that makes for a really interesting and tactile playstyle. Right?
Yeah. It is also it is not only tactile, it is tactical. But I mean it can be tactile. So the point is, you can get your hands right on it.
I sometimes say words that are correct, and sometimes I don't.
It should be tactile. So yeah, we think that would be very fun, and we also think the addition of items for Pokemon would be fun. So, for example, in a normal MMORPG, you've got a slot for like your helmet and your bracers. And
can you picture a Pidgey wearing a wizard's cap, like the long pointy hat that's kind of crooked and holding a little cane?
Yeah, I think that'd be so cool. So in Pokemon Go, sometimes they'll have events where Pokemon have a little a PP up out of nowhere.
That already made it worth it.
Oh no!
What was the last item?
What
did you just do, sir? Since when can you destroy the grass? What did you just use cut?
Oh.
You can mow the lawn? Okay. Sound off in the comments. Did you know you could mow the lawn in Pokemon? I was today years old when I learned this. What is even happening? You can get rid of the tall grass? Is that how Professor Oak gets around? He just mows the lawn? Does it respawn or is it gone forever? What is happening?
This is the slowest repel ever. Okay, well, we can't go there anymore. It's bold.
The slowest repel?
Yeah, if you didn't have a repel, but you didn't want to encounter any Pokemon, you could just slowly cut your way through, like...
Oh, yeah. Man, that's so weird. What is even happening? I think that wasn't on my bingo card. That just kind of blew my mind a little bit. I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that.
The song, How Can There Be So Much You Don't Know from Pocahontas is...
Yeah, playing in my head.
What more do we not know?
There's probably so much we don't know.
Hopefully there was no Pokemon in that grass.
No, it would have been yeeted to the ether.
It's like a huge weed whacker.
Man.
Okay, well, that is cool.
I have no words.
No, indeed.
Should we pick a different patch? Is this one cursed now?
Well, I mean, we found a PP up and 2 rare candies. I think both of those are actually more rare than TM10s.
Oh.
If my memory serves me, I think they're like at the 1%, and TM10 is a 5%. Of course, it's 5% of the 10%, right? Because there's a 10% chance of a pickup, and then a 5% chance of that being a TM10. So, I think the game thinks it's helping us. If we don't, by the end of this episode, if we don't find a TM10, that's okay. We're just going to crack on, but...
And we're more likely, I think, to find one in LeafGreen, because I think the game, it sounds from the internet like the game wants you to have one. Right?
I mean, it seems like it.
So apparently, TM10 is a 5% chance. A nugget, a PP up, a rare candy are 1%.
Wow. So we have gotten 4 1% chancers.
Well, apparently it's 1 to 5% for TM10. So... But if nothing else, it's as rare.
As rare, or less rare. So it should be more common, right? Well, maybe it is 1%. But that's okay. Like you said, if our Vulpix runs into trouble, we should just switch it out. That's not a problem. We have others. That's why the teamwork makes the dream work, you know?
It's kind of mean that they make Persian not able to have the pickup ability. Just because it makes you choose between having a really cool Pokemon ability to have while you're just exploring the world. Because if you just had a Meowth in your team, I imagine by the end of the game, you would have some really cool stuff. that you got for free that you wouldn't have been able to get otherwise.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not nice that if you want to evolve it and complete your Pokedex or become stronger or make it a better battler, you have to sacrifice in turn that cool ability. Like, that seems mean. Why would it become less cool through evolution? That's not supposed to be how that works.
Yeah, this is a really weird... I definitely... I think I must have played... I don't know what I played as a young person, but I definitely did not know this. Here's the Pecha Berry.
Are we the first people to ever accidentally use cut in the grass? Do other people know this? I'm gonna Google this.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if the other HMs can do similar things. But anyway, yeah, so for a Pokemon MMORPG, it would be very, very fun to find loot for your...
Generations 1 to 3, using HM cut while standing in tall grass permanently removes that patch.
Permanently?
Permanently. It clears a 3x3 area and can be used as a poor man's repel.
It says poor man's repel?
It's called the poor man's repel.
Didn't I call it
Yeah, I think you did.
Budget repel or something?
Wow. It was removed in Diamond Pearl Gen 4.
Wow.
That's insane. So other people knew about this. Permanent. Why would you want to permanently get rid of the grass? What if you need a Pokemon and it's in that one patch of grass you decided to yeet into the sun?
Well, it makes me think of, like... Oh, this Meowth doesn't know Payday yet. That's sad. Look at you. Summary... Oh, timid nature. How fun. Oh, this has 0. Did we use all our... Okay. We've almost exhausted all our...
We have more cats?
We have more cats, but no more Payday.
We have no more Payday?
No. I think you learn it at level 18, and the rest of our cats don't know it.
Well, we can level up one of the other ones. Some of them are level 17. I'm sure if we... Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we could do that, but we're close to the end of our search. We're not going to spend too much more time doing that, unless we do it off camera.
We might. We'll debate it. I mean, if we do, it'll just be us cycling back and forth. We'll tell you. But I think we're hoping next episode we'll be starting LeafGreen with you, so we can show you us starting another game. How exciting for you!
Yeah, it is exciting because it's going to be quite a different approach. This game we had like learning the ropes, like which way's up, where's Flash, what is that Ekans doing, how did Gary get there?
Why is Gary there?
And why did Gary get there?
What are we calling Gary in LeafGreen?
I kind of want to just keep him as Gary.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
He's a pirate.
Arr. Gary is now a pirate, guys. Did you know? Are you aware?
I just think it's another PP up. Wow.
I mean, this is pretty lucrative.
PP ups are not, usually they're a fixed amount, so that's really quite...
I can't believe we destroyed the grass forever. I'm still not over this. I don't know if I'll be over it for about a week. This was seismic, okay? In my life, this was everything I know is a lie.
Can you imagine if I'm sure someone has destroyed every grass patch in the whole game.
Well, it was funny. I looked it up online to see if anyone else... I figured someone else must have accidentally done that. We couldn't be the only ones. And apparently people did. And a lot of people were saying, because usually if you play Pokemon, you also had a foray into Mario. And I will admit, I loved me some Mario as a kid too. I have all of the original ones for like the Game Boy. And like all the Donkey Kongs. And if you destroyed things, there was a chance you'd get something as a reward in Mario.
Okay.
So people are saying they were destroying grass expecting something to come out of it, like a reward or some money or something, or a Pokemon to run out, and it wouldn't happen. But because of the other games of that era for the same console, it was just the instinct.
That's funny. Or like Zelda.
Yeah, definitely Zelda.
Alright, we're going to do 5 more encounters. Check our Meowths.
5 more after this one?
Nope, including that one.
Okay.
So it's the countdown. It's the Pidgey countdown.
Pidgey countdown. It's a countdown. It's a countdown. It's a Pidgey countdown. Countdown.
4.
Oh, man.
Not quite as fast.
That almost scared me. I was like, oh, 4 what? 3. Wait, do we count at the beginning or the end of the encounter, or does it matter?
3.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's
Well,
of high critical importance.
I'll put it this way. If there was a chance we'd lose, it would matter more, maybe.
True.
I keep hoping we're gonna find a shiny. Like, part of me always thinks that one of them's just gonna be a shiny. Because I've been told there's shinies in these games, and we've just been, you know, I feel like the more you try to farm an area, the more likely you are to find one, just because of math.
2.
2. Oh, wow.
This is 1.
This is 1?
This is 1. So we have 1 more. Wait, I guess we're getting to 0. Hold on. I don't know.
Did you math right?
No, but this is the last one.
Math is hard.
And we'll check our inventory before we
1.
close shop.
Yeah.
0.
Oh.
Do you like the low voice?
Yeah, I think I can't do it, obviously. 0.
All right.
All right. We just going into the Poke Center.
Yeah, I guess we are. We're going to stand in the Pokeball.
Oh, that's very epic.
Oh, look, a few of them have it. Spelonberry.
I don't even know what that is.
Persimberry.
It'd be fun if you had more than one at the same time.
Cherryberry. It's our last chance. A nugget.
A nugget!
It's a good way to
pretty
end.
good, though. Want to save?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, the next time you see us, we will be in LeafGreen, naming our character and having a whole new adventure. Hey, Abby.
Yes. And never fear, we will revisit FireRed. We're going to be bouncing back and forth, but we can only film one game at a time, so we have to be strategic. All right, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hope you guys have a great day.